Hey, how come I don't see myself? There's no video. Hmm, look at that. There I am. Mhm, hmm. Okay, I'm waking up. I'm gonna talk about Jesus Sutra and Buddha Dharma versus the union of them. I'm waking up. I'm waking up. Ah, mm, mm, mm. So, oh, oh, mm. I'll have to share. Let's see. Let's use Bing. Oh, Bing.com. And in here, hmm, Matthew Sermon on the Mount. Hmm, the Sermon on the Mount is the anglicized from the Matan Vulgate Latin section titled Sermo in Monte. Is a collection of sayings spoken by Jesus of Nazareth found in the Gospel of Matthew. That would be chapter 5, 6, and 7. Oh my goodness. I'm stuck on chapter 5 for several episodes, and I didn't realize that chapter 6 and 7 also continues with the Sermon on the Mount. So I better get going. Okay. Hmm. Let's go to maybe let's go to Bible Gateway or what's another one? Oh, they got. Let's see. Man, Bible gateways. Mm, Bible gateways is dominant. Most of the links are found in Bible Gateway, Bible Project, Yale Bible Study, mm, Baylor University, mm, 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 Bible Gateway, the Bible Artist, Christianity. Mm, This one's interesting. Let's check this out. What is the framework for the structure of the Sermon on the Mount? That this is like Quora, maybe, but maybe it's for asking questions related to the Bible and Christianity. Let's see. I accepted all cookies. So the question goes: is there any framework for the structure of the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5 through 7 that we are aware of, or is it just a collection of a collected sermon, or portions of sermons from Jesus Christ's ministry on earth? Mm. And the questioner continues, in my exegesis of this passage, I am struggling to find the common thread as to why the points Christ raises in the Sermon on the Mount are in the order they are, or even why they are all present in this one sermon. This is particularly puzzling for me, as the rest of Matthew is so well structured, especially in regards to Christ's fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy. So someone answered, a good place to start your investigations in the Sermon on the Mount structure is with Dale C. Anderson's article here. Anderson takes on Gunther Bornkamm's theory on the Sermon on the Mount structure and exposes what seemed to Anderson to be flaws in Bornkamm's explanation. I left a comment and it's not here. Not sure if I didn't. So was that the best answer? Maybe. Mm, Let's see the other answers. Or is that part of the questioners asked 7 years ago? Who asked it? Asked by Peter. Yeah, Daisy answered that with, go check out this. Just check it out. Oh, it's not working. Well. So the Sermon on the Mount can be understood to be in three parts. The New Commandments. First, the New Commandments, the, the Beatitudes, which set out the New Testament law of spiritual rebirth. Strictly speaking, although there are 9 Beatitudes, Those are the ones that say blessed are, which is 5, 3 through 11. One can count 10 teachings if the final verse, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, is included. And the teaching on the salt and light is a caution to the disciples that they must not only pass on the teaching he has just given them, but they themselves must live an exemplary life. This is the meaning, for example, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. A Byzantine theophylacт of Ohrid. He teaches them to struggle and to be strictly no, to be strict in living a virtuous life, where they will be in view of all. Do not imagine, he says, that you will be hidden away in some corner, for you will be most visible. See to it then that you live blamelessly, lest you become a stumbling block for others. So that is a comment given by the Byzantine Theophylact of Horrid. And Theophylact's complete explanation of the Sermon on the Mount, written sometime in the 11th century, is available here. Wow. Understanding the New Testament in context of the Old. So, in other words, you can you can think of the structure as being the new commandments. That's it covered in the first 16 verses. You could say there's 9 plus 1 that is like a rejoicing, makes it 10. They're called the Beatitudes, the 9 Beatitudes. That's 3 through 11. Those are the ones that say, blessed are. But then, after that's done, the Matthew goes into understanding the new in context of the old. That's the verses 17 through through the following chapter, verse 34. So that's where Jesus puts the new commandments into the context of the old, teaching the disciples that he is supplementing and in the fulfilling of Old Testament laws. He tells the disciples that far from being more relaxed, they must actually exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. He explains to them that they will be held to a higher standard than these. Not only shall they not kill, they will not even be angry. Not only shall they not commit adultery, they will not even look at a woman with lust. They will not be permitted to divorce their wives at will. Having related specific points of the old law to the new, he teaches on the general need to strive for true righteousness, explaining how one must show mercy and one must pray and fast in a way pleasing to the Lord, and how one must avoid attachment to the material things of the world. And then this in the seventh chapter, this sermon continues from verse 1 to verse 27. That's where Jesus then gives a caution to the disciples to safeguard what they just learned. Having received the teachings, the Dharma, the Christ Dharma, no, the Yeshua Dharma. I don't like the word Christ. It it's Greek to me, and it's supposed to refer to Messiah, and I don't think Jesus was the Messiah for the Jews on a political scale. Right? So so instead of saying the the Christ Dharma, I would say the Yeshua Dharma. Dharma, as the word Dharma here refers to teachings, but also to the way, as in the Taoist, the way, the Dharma. As when Buddhism went to China, they it seems like they simply translated Dharma as Tao. It, they seem like it was referring to the same thing. So the Tao of Yeshua, the Yeshua Dharma. Mm. So having so the listeners having received the Yeshua Dharma, they now must be cautious in judging others to safeguard the teaching and be consistent. And then he gives his disciples the final guidance that they must always strive to discern the correct path, even when faced with the trials of life. So that explanation was presented by user 15733. Mm, and it was taken from a pamphlet written several years ago by a Russian Orthodox missionary, Alexander Miliant. Let's see. That one doesn't work either. Oh, go back. Let's see if we can go back. Okay. Mm, mhm, mm, mm, mm. Uh, and this this comment is pointing out that from verse chapter 5:17 to chapter 7:12, it can be thought of as G, as an outline. No, can be outlined or can be summarized as providing the teachings on three kinds of issues. Number one, uh, Jesus and the Torah. No, n- hmm, the topic, three topics. Jesus and the Torah is one of them. That's from verse chapter 5:17 to 5:48. Jesus and the Torah. And the other, the second of the third, is the Christian cult. The Christian cult? That's an interesting choice of words. The Christian cult. In this case, the word cult here means practices instead of practice, or what you need to follow to be a follower of Yeshua is contained in chapter 6, verse 1 through 18. And the third of three sets of issues is the social issues. That's covered in chapter 6, verse 19 through chapter 7, verse 12. Thus, Matthew, in after the Beatitudes, the part from chapter 17 through 20, is the beginning of the sermon's main section that focuses on the righteousness expected of a participant in the kingdom of God as articulated by Jesus. So the terms the Sermon on the Mount goes back to the title Augustine gave to his important commentary on Matthew 5 through 7, mm, which was probably written between 392 and 396. It's, it's, in spite of Augustine's enormous influence on many later Christian writers, Matthew 5 through 7 was not generally referred to as the Sermon on the Mount until the 16th century. Mm. So you could find Dale Dale C. Allen's mm, Dale C. Allen's mm, copy. Let's see. You think I can go like this? No. Let's see. Mm. Oh, you know what I could do? I could paste it in here in the chat. Hmm. Oh, let's see. Select everything and paste. And then hit enter. Hmm. Yeah, okay. So, hey, how come? Mhm. So, um, oh, but sorry. But I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to I'm gonna get to what I was thinking of getting to. But this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but it's a good one. Uh, so people that have studied uh, Matthew 5 through 7, they have analyzed it and have come up with a structure to it. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, here's an interesting point. The audience. An important factor is recognizing the people present can be divided into two groups. Like the two groups are just the general public, and the other group is the disciples. Hmm. So one should consider whether a statement was addressed specifically for his disciples or for the general public to consume. For example, the last blessing is addressed to his disciples. He says, "Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account." Hmm. So when I read this and another one like it, the one I think is the one where you seek righteousness. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm going to let's see. Gonna put some shorts on. I don't have shorts on right now. I'm going to hmm, uh, live. Mm, I'm back. Okay, so now let's check my YouTube. Hmm. Let's see, go back here. No. Mm, see if I can get to live. Okay, there. Okay, so it's working. Hello. Good morning. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Uh, oh, let's see. I'm going to my belly. I'm going to get a book. A few things I left in my car last night. Hmm. Looks like it's going to rain. Maybe cloudy. It kind of feels good. Let's see. Did I park okay? But it hit his car. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, I need to. Ooh, watch out. Let's see if I can open this. Oh, no, it's not working. Oh, now it is. Yeah, I need a battery. Oh man, there's my wallet. Hmm. Let's see. What's in there? I don't know. What am I gonna get? Okay, what's gonna get? Oh, you know what? Hmm. Mm. Oh. Oh. Let's see. What's this? Take this. Take this back, and I'll be doing good now. Mm. I mean, you know what? Hmm. Damn it. Hmm. Okay. Excuse the noise. The, the noises of pain. Mm. The mannerisms. Oh, so, there we go. Uh, ooh, this is a strange day. It's windy. It's kind of cool for Florida. Well, I guess we're heading into winter. It's November. I can't remember. 14 or 15. It's 15. November 15. Oh my goodness. And it's a Wednesday. Oh, it could rain or it'll stay like this for a while. Mm. Mhm. Oh, are you planting something new? Hmm. Oh, this what's the name of this plant again? The beans, gandulis. Oh, pigeon peas. Oh, I added them to rice. I cooked rice, white rice with them. It came out good. Oh, maybe I'll talk to him this Saturday. Mm, I'll talk to him on Saturday morning. He's always on Zoom Saturday. Maybe I could tell him that there's a good chance, and maybe ask him for the dates approximately when he's coming and for how long. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I my brother said uh, there's this hotel that charges 350 a week with kitchenette. I told him maybe she might want 300. Is that a good price? Mm, okay. When his name is Joel from Toronto, Canada, and his wife, I'm not sure. She may. I'm not sure where she's from, but I think she's Asian. May I'm not sure what country. May uh she might be Filipino, maybe, or maybe from Thailand. Oh, mm, mm. Let's see. Oh, this one's coming out good. Pretty. I heard that you shouldn't smell this. It it could get you high and even kill you. I'll have to investigate. Oh, I read about it that. Mhm. Okay, so mm, okay, so the reason why I went to the car primarily was to get uh, this book. Why was it in the car? Well, I was gonna take it. Maybe I'll take it to. When's the next time I go to my center? Tomorrow I could go. Mm, but I wonder if there's a puja that I could. Anyway, here's the book that I wanted to get. It, I picked up used somewhere. Maybe it was a thrift shop. It's the Holy Bible. It's a it's a King James version it's a red letter edition. Thomas Nelson Publishers, Nashville. Mm. It was probably published in 1984. So I'd like to see go over Matthew chapter 5, and whoa, yeah, it's all mostly in red. That means that Jesus is saying these things. There's a particular, okay, so yeah, there's the nine blesseds That's the Beatitudes. Let's see. Blessed are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is rejoice and be exceedingly glad, and so forth. Maybe I should. I also have a version on Kindle. That way I can search quickly. But mm, there's there's one that was mentioned when I was sharing what I was sharing. It was saying that you could divide the sermon into mm, teachings, Yeshua Dharma, directed at the public for public consumption, and secret teachings directed at his disciples. And one, for example, is verse 11. Blessed are ye when men, men, shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Okay, so that is an example of what I would uh, bring that teaching, that secret teaching, in line with the secret teaching of the Buddha. I dare say. If I am wrong, may I be struck down. No, uh, I may be wrong, so I shouldn't say struck down. May may I be eventually corrected by you listeners. So here's what I propose. This secret teaching of blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. This is a secret teaching directed at Yeshua's disciples, Yeshua's students, Yeshua's followers, Yeshua's practitioners, the Yeshua sect, the Yeshua cult. This is a secret doctrine, a secret practice, a tantric practice. This is very Buddhist because at the end he says, for my sake. That sounds very narcissistic of him, you could say. Very creído, creído. In Spanish, the word creído. Mm. Anyway, uh, so I will now pull out. I can't find my new Eight Steps to Happiness book. It got lost in this order. but I will eventually find it. Hmm, maybe it's in one of these containers. Oh well, I'll look for it later. But I know where to find it online. So I will attempt to find it online. Oh, you know what? Hmm, I created a tiny URL. So I will share it as so. If I can remember it, I think it's HTTPS colon forward slash wake up and think clearly. But the initials WUTC dot LIFE. Mm, that's my domain name. That was this connected to tinyurl.com forward slash. Now, here's the hard part. Trying to remember what I named it. I'm gonna say 8 verses. Verses. Hmm. What happened? Hmm? Nothing happened. Hmm. No, that didn't work. Let's try again. Hmm. Well, let's go like this. Tiny url.com forward slash. Oh no. Let's see. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Tiny. Let's see. Let's go to my account. Hmm. Sign in. Am I already signed in? No. Hmm. I gotta sign in. That. Mm, mm. There we go. Now, mm, 8 verses. I had it right. Oh, that's a PDF. Mm, mm. Copy. And let's go to a browser. Mm, mm, Paste. Go. So I download it. Mm, well, unfortunately, I can't share. That's the problem. Hmm. Hmm. Anyway, it's not. It's nice. I wish I could share what's on my desktop. I can't believe I can't share what's on my desktop in Zoom. I go back to Zoom because I can't uh, open a PDF in Zoom, can I? Let's see if I can. Mm, this stop sharing. Okay. Now let's restart sharing and then see if I can open a document. Oh, here. Maybe I can. Maybe I can open this. And then I can go like this. I wonder if I can share the PDF. Mm, it just hangs. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm sharing the document. So the word sutra, one meaning of the word sutra is in Buddhism there are sutras that involve encounters with the Buddha, and when people encounter him, they ask him a question, and then he answers it, and so forth. There's that kind of interaction, or maybe he does give a sermon somewhere. But so basically, a sutra is the teachings of the Buddha. But in this case, I want to say the teachings of Jesus. So I say the Yeshua Sutra. Uh, and then, so I'm going to treat uh, certain verses in the Sermon of the Mount, in particular, verse 11 of the fifth chapter of Matthew, where Yeshua is giving a secret practice that if you do it for for in his sake, in his name, then you'll be blessed. And that practice is to bear with patiently bear the mistreatment of by others. When you're mistreated by others, you want to be able to bear it patiently, put up with it. So that's a practice that's not designed for the general public. That's a practice that his followers, his closest followers, his disciples, would want to practice. And now I'm going to share a verse of the 8 verses that is similar to that. So, as you can see, I have pulled up 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Langri Tangpa, 1054 to 1123. Tibetan. He became a teacher and he gathered mm, people that wanted him, mm, want, uh, wanted to learn something from him. And he composed 8 verses for training the mind. Is It's a powerful summary of the Buddhist cult. Cult in this case, the way I'm using the word cult is it refers to a school, but also the practices. What you have to practice to be a cult follower, the cult sect cult. Okay, so the practices of this Buddhist school, the practices that are taken up by the most faithful disciples. Uh, that word disciples not used very often in Buddhism, but perhaps practitioners is used more often. The ones who take on the practice, who promise to practice. So they take on these 8 verses for training the mind, and these 8 verses are supposed to cover all of the Buddhist path. The well, not not for all Buddhism, but only for Mahayana Buddhism, because there's a difference between Mahayana schools of Buddhism or traditions of Buddhism and other non-Mahayana schools, which would be the Theravada schools of Buddhism. And so the distinction here, when you say Mahayana, is the importance of the maybe it's the mission statement or is it the vision statement? One of the two. The stated goal of a Mahayana practitioner would be their conviction, their constant uh, what they have in mind, their intention, their what they have their mind on, their that they've got their mindset on, like the George Harrison's song, or a song that George Harrison sang. It became very popular. When did it come out? In the 1990s, maybe. It goes. The lyrics are, "I've got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you, but it's gonna take money, a whole lot of money, and it's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time, and so on. So I got my mind set on you." So the Mahayana Hmm, conviction is that they got that one must have one's mind set on you. You as in everyone else other than you, and yet including you. So you are doing all your actions with a intention of it's all for you. I'm doing it for you. So you are striving to love everyone and striving to do all your actions for the benefit of others. That's incredible because we're so selfish that we're doing things for our own benefit, and that's okay in a sense. But as a Mahayana Buddhist, you're training your mind to be set on you, on others, on your kind mothers. My kind mothers are all others. So the uh, the 8 verses, I think, the verse that most closely resembles the one in Matthew chapter 5, verse 11 would be, let's see, let me look for it. Hmm, It's so the first verse is that one in bold, and the second verse is the one on top. It talks about thinking of oneself as the lowest. It's kind of related to that, but it this like a pre, pre, preliminary to that Matthew verse. Let's see. In all actions, wait, I firstly not that one. What about the fourth one? Whenever I meet people, unpleasant characters, may I check? No, not that one. But getting closer. Whenever others, because of their jealousy, treat me bad. Maybe that one. So let's see. That's verse 5. That's the one on the bottom. It says, "Whenever others, because of their jealousy, treat me badly with abuse, insult, slander, or in other unjust ways, may I accept this defeat myself and offer the victory to others." Hmm. It's not very close to the Matthew one, but there's something about it that's kind of close. Let's go to the next one. Oh, here's one. When someone whom I have benefited or in whom I have placed great trust and hope harms me or treats me in hurtful ways without reason, may I see that person as my precious teacher. So that's verse 6. So verse 5 and 6 are kind of along the lines. but they're but maybe they're parallel sayings. They're not anywhere equivalent. They have they have different purposes. They came about in different ways, of course. Mm, they I think what's common to them is that they they require a lot of patience, a lot of practice, a lot of love, a lot of understanding, a lot of giving the benefit of the doubt and things like that. Uh, hmm. so the verse there's another one in the sermon that uses the word for the sake of righteousness well the word righteousness is used several times, at least in three verses that I am aware of. But there's one that uses the word righteousness. I forget if it was saying in search of righteousness or for the sake of righteousness. But I'll look it up. How could I look it up? Hmm. Let me let me turn on my phone. Mm, let's see. Let's see. Uh, Disconnect. And so, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Okay, good. Okay, I'm turning on another phone. Yeah, that's my other phone. Mm. And think I get another phone still, but I'm not using it. But I think I need to sell it. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. So I turned on my phone. It's got a. So I'm going to go to my Kindle app. Mm, 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 mm. Here's the Holy Bible, the King James Version. And so there I can see verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Mm, but there's another one kind of impressive like that, that has the word righteousness, righteousness. I think it's righteousness. Hmm. So the word righteousness is found in all over the Bible. Okay, so go to Matthew. Scroll down to Matthew. Wow, what is that book? It uses righteousness so much. Oh, Psalms. Psalms uses the word righteousness a lot. Proverbs uses the word righteousness a lot. Mm, let's see, Isaiah uses the word righteousness a lot. Jeremiah a bit, Ezekiel a bit, Daniel a bit, Amos, Micah, New Testament. So Matthew, let's see. Hmm. hmm. So the Beatitudes are the ones that say, "Blessed are." So there seems to be a blessed are that includes the word righteousness, and that is looks like it's Matthew chapter 5 verse 6. It says, "Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." And then ah then righteousness is used in a few verses later, verse 10. "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake." Okay. Righteousness apostrophe. The word righteousness has the symbol apostrophe at the end to indicate possession, sake, righteousness sake. Hmm. Hmm. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That's verse 10. "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." And then in verse 20, Yeshua says, "For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven." I guess this I can't read the rest of it. I don't want to go there yet. Mm. Oh, oh yeah, yeah, okay. And then let's see, and then little later down, quite a bit later, maybe 20 or so verses, maybe 13 verses down. It Yeshua says, the first seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. For John came unto you in the way of righteousness. There was a book. There's a book. There's a book. Is it that one? Is that the book? Could be. How? Let me look at that book. Let's see if it is that book. Let's, let's turn on a better mode. Hmm. Yeah, that one. That's brighter. That's the maximum. Let's see. There's a book up there. Uh, I think I can see it from here. Oh, I can't take this with me. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. There we go. Oh, don't don't fall. I see the book. There's a book that has a particular verse in Matthew, and I think it's in Matthew. It could be in Luke. Isn't the Sermon of the Mount also in Luke? Let's see. Also, I should check these two. See which one of them has that verse. Uh, is okay. Okay. Hmm. So in this book called "What's in the Bible" by R.C. Sproul and Robert Wolgemuth, the other the other day, maybe a week or so ago, I was reading from this book. Hmm. About the teachings of Jesus, the Dharma, the 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 Yeshua Sutras, the Sermon on the Mount, and C.S. Lewis wrote that anyone who reads the Sermon on the Mount and is not filled with fear does not understand what Jesus is saying. And but later on, a few paragraphs down, hmm, yeah, here it says, when you are maligned, despised, or even persecuted for righteousness' sake, you are blessed. But he doesn't. The authors are giving a summary of the different parts of the Bible. And so this is like a summary of the Sermon on the Mount or commentary on it. So sometimes they quote from the Sermon on the Mount, but they don't give the chapter and the verse. But you can look it up, except that they don't give what translation they used. So it's worded differently. Like in this case, they put "you are blessed" instead of "blessed are" at the beginning. This translation is "when you do this, comma, you are blessed." So let me look it up using uh, Bing or something like that. Mhm. Bing.com. Hmm. So I go here. Let's type in when you are maligned. Are maligned, comma, despised, comma, or even persecuted for righteousness. Righteousness apostrophe. Oops. Sake. Comma. You are blessed. Jesus said Sermon on the Mount. Hmm. Oh, blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness. Hmm. So it's the verse 10, probably. Hmm. Hmm. I'm looking for. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, legionnaire.org. Let's see. The Beatitudes begin with Godward attitudes, spiritual poverty, mourning, meekness, and hunger, and progress to manward concerns, mercifulness, purity, and peacemaking, before concluding in Matthew 5:10 with the inevitable reality of persecution and insults. See also Matthew 10:22 and John 15:20. But this unpleasant inevitability carries with it a promise of a share in the divine life, for this is what true blessedness is, a communion with the blessed God. The suffering described here is not the thorns and thistles of the faith of the fall in general, or is it persecution due to hypocrisy, judgmentalism, or just general obnoxiousness. It is certainly not the imagined persecution of heightened sensitivity. It has more to do with identity politics than the cost of discipleship. We dare not trivialize persecution in that way when brothers and sisters are being imprisoned by oppressive regimes and dying at the hands of extremists. The suffering that is blessed here is suffering for righteousness' sake, being persecuted for doing the will of our master. Interesting. To embrace the promise of this beatitude, the persecution must be for doing his righteous will. It is only then that ours is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew's phrase, synonymous with the kingdom of God, is his way of reminding us that God's righteous rule in the heavens is not man's way. Those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake are living out God's ways in the midst of a world that does not respect and will even reject them. Having the root meaning of pursued, being persecuted will take violent, extreme forms as well as subtler ones such as ridicule, dismissiveness, marginalization, and exclusion. Christ's blessing here helps us in several ways. First, it is ours. When we are persecuted for righteousness' sake and wonder if it is worth it, we can remain resolute that the kingdom of heaven is ours. Second, it is a secure, a source of joy because in it we are identified with our Lord. Third, it is the signpost guiding us along the path of Jesus. So this has got some good commentary because it also includes uh, references to particular verses. So what I can do, oops, oops, I jumped out of that. This is from Legionnaire Ministries. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hmm. I got out of that, but I managed to copy the link. So that means I can go to YouTube and paste it here. Oh, I'm trying to paste it. Okay, there. I can paste it now. Yeah, there. So that's an interesting commentary on these kinds of verses. Oh, mm, yeah. Oh, another. Oh, here's another link. Is that one on the 8 verses, or another way of writing it is let's see, HTTPS the dot // what the life dash. Oops, it changed my what see to which. Science does that. And 8 verses. There we go. That link, the last two links are for a PDF with the 8 verses for training the mind. My, there we go. I sent that in the chat, in the live chat. on YouTube on this channel. Wake up and think. So it's almost 10 a.m. Uh, I should go. There were some good moments today. It's it was good for me. For you, it was good for you. May it benefit you. These are interesting verses in Matthew. I got at Matthew 10 and 11 are interesting, and they compared somewhat to verse 5 and 6. Okay, that's better. I was I was getting a delayed version of myself on live YouTube. That to talk over myself. So yeah, I compared. You could say I I could summarize or conclude that there's some parallel uh, teachings between Jesus and the Buddha, as shown in Matthew verse 5, 10, and 11, principally, as a secret practice for for the disciples. Compare that, compare and contrast, or just consider them as parallel. Uh, they're both totally independent, and yet it's like they're in a parallel universe. So the I'm comparing Matthew 5, 10, and 11 to verse 5 and 6 of the 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Langri Tangpa. And what I get is, so the motivation for a disciple to put up with abuse is that one will be doing it for righteousness sake, and also for Jesus' sake, and the reward would be the kingdom of God or heaven. In the Buddhist practice that's parallel, it would be verse 5 and 6 of the 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Langrig Tangpa, where it's dealing with the practice of the Bodhisattva. And in a sense, the practice of the Bodhisattva is that you're doing it not for some God, some Jesus. In a way, you are doing it uh, for your guru. That's a way of a Buddhist might practice it. You're doing it for your guru, practice for your guru's sake, but it's ultimately a practice that you do for the sake of all sentient beings. That's repeated constantly ad nauseum. That okay, we're going to meditate now, but let's get our attitude right. Why are we doing this? We're doing this for the benefit of all sentient beings, of all my kind mothers. So you're setting your mind. You're getting your mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. And it's gonna take money, a whole lot of money, a whole lot of spending money, and it's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. I got my mind. How's it go? I got my mind set Got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on, that song. So in the Buddhist practice, you gotta get your mind set on all yous, all your yous. Anybody that is a you, that you could say you, even a pet is a you, hey pet you. Any uh, and even cockroaches are nasty animals that we stomp on and kill or get rid of. Termites and ants. We're doing it for them too. Uh, Although it's hard to. So we got to pray for them. I guess the best we can do after we kill them with the oh money payment home. So so verse 5 and 6 of the eight verses for training the mind are as follows. Let's see. Verse 5 and 6. So verse 3, 4. Here's verse 5. Whenever others, because of their jealousy, treat me badly with abuse, insult, slander, or in other unjust ways, may I accept this defeat myself and offer the victory to others. It's kind of like when you get slapped, show the other cheek. Then, hmm, hmm, verse 6. When someone, verse 6, when someone whom I have benefited or in whom I have placed great trust and hope harms me or treats me in hurtful ways without reason, may I see that person as my precious teacher. and and verse 7 is kind of what that's for another day. But it's even more intense. But let's see. So so can you see the differences and the parallel, the attitudes? Well, these Buddhist verses, they don't say blessed. The blessedness is already inherent because these eight verses, you've already decided that I'm doing this to be blessed, to be blessed. You've already been blessed. Like when you receive these teachings, you become blessed. You become inspired to commit to doing these practices. So you say, okay, I'm going to commit to practicing these eight verses for the rest of my life. And the goal is the kingdom of God or heaven. Not quite. You could say it's the the Buddhist pure land, perhaps, but it's even more than that. Is to become a Buddha, a Christ, an enlightened, illuminated, enlightened being, a liberated being, in a bodhisattva. Yes. So actually, yeah, if you put it in a hierarchy, there's us, then there's ones who who get on the path that they're stream enterers and this and that and the Hinayana path where you do a lot of meditation and you perfect yourself and then you start saying, wait a minute, why am I doing this? After I attain nirvana, what happens to me? What happens to everyone else? Oh, I just disappear and forget about everyone else. No, I'm gonna stay with everyone. I'm gonna even liberate everyone else. I'm not going to liberate myself until everyone else is liberated. So I'm doing it. I'm developing the attitude that I'm going to do this for the benefit of others. So I got my mindset on you, on all you others. So that that inspiration to do it for the benefit of others is how you are blessed. And then what do you do once you're blessed? You do these practices. So Jesus says, you will be blessed when you do this. But the Buddha in this case says, okay, you're already blessed in knowing what you gotta do. So now go do it. So you do it and so these are the 8 things you're going to do. You're going to you've made a conviction to do it. You made a determination. You made a promise. You've declared that you're on this diet. To all others, you're declaring, okay, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. Now you don't have to do it like that. You don't have to tell anybody that you're practicing this. You just gotta keep reminding yourself of these 8 verses. So the in summary, the verse 5 and 6 are are kind of parallel Matthew chapter 5 verse 10 and 11. Hmm. Except the difference is, I would say that if you do this, you'll get blessed. In the Buddhist view, you are blessed or inspired to do these. Hmm. How did you get blessed or inspired? I guess you would have to meet a guru that is so overpowering that you want to do it. Hmm. Something like that. Okay, so I hope you were to inspired, blessed as in inspired to take on these practices and how how to integrate these parallel views, these different religions, how to integrate them, how to combine them, how to unite them, how to merge them to make something even more powerful. I don't know. I'll see if I can. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.